Protecting the White House involves managing a security apparatus that extends far beyond the iron fence. But according to officials, that system is currently operating within a heightened threat environment. The tension reflects recent events, occurring just 1 month removed from a security breach and shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. This brings us to a specific failure at the gates. We have to look at how a person already flagged by federal agents was able to initiate a shootout just steps from the Eisenhower Executive Office building. The incident suggests that even a high-functioning security ecosystem has friction points, where the transition from a documented concern to a physical interception doesn't always happen in time. The man at the center of this breach was 21-year-old Nasire Best. His history with the Secret Service began in July 2025, when he was arrested for trying to force his way into the complex. Following that arrest, court filings detailed a history of mental health struggles. Best reportedly claimed to be Jesus and was eventually sent to a psychiatric ward under an involuntary commitment. To manage the risk, a judge issued a stay-away order, legally barring Best from the White House area. When he missed a later court date, a bench warrant was issued for his arrest. Yet for the next 18 months, Best remained in Washington, D.C. Despite being a known entity with an active warrant, he was able to maintain his mobility within the city. All of these legal measures, the arrests, the psychiatric evaluations, and the court orders, ended on the evening of May 23rd, when Best walked back toward the White House perimeter. At approximately 6 p.m. on a Saturday, Best reached the intersection of 17th Street and Pennsylvania Avenue. He approached a specific security booth along the perimeter, the checkpoint guarding the entrance to the Eisenhower Executive Office building. Law enforcement sources state that Best suddenly pulled out a revolver and began firing directly at the Secret Service booth. The response was immediate. In a dense public area, officers and the suspect exchanged rounds. Secret Service Uniform Division officers returned fire and struck the suspect, ending the engagement without casualties. Best was taken to George Washington University Hospital, where he died from his injuries. A civilian bystander was also wounded, though it remains unclear whose gunfire struck them. When the layers of intelligence and legal deterrence fail to stop an approach, the safety of the complex falls entirely on the tactical response of the officers at the gate. Inside the fence, the atmosphere was a stark contrast to the street outside. Journalists on the North Lawn were preparing for their live evening hits, with the White House residence situated just behind them. When the sharp cracks of shots rang out from the street, reporters caught out in the open immediately ducked to the ground. Secret Service agents immediately moved to clear the lawn, shouting at the press corps to get inside the building as they secured the immediate perimeter. For the next 30 minutes, the press corps was locked inside the briefing room while the Secret Service confirmed that the threat had been neutralized. While the exterior of the gate saw a chaotic exchange of fire, the interior protocols functioned as intended, isolating the residents from the violence occurring at the checkpoint. The morning after the shooting, political leaders from both parties issued statements supporting the tactical execution of the agents on the ground. House Speaker Mike Johnson noted that the country is currently in a serious threat environment, describing these types of risks as an inherent part of the job. Senate Majority Leader John Thune emphasized his gratitude for the agents' decisive actions in protecting the president and those working on the grounds. This bipartisan consensus reinforces the Secret Service's authority to use lethal force at the gates, but it also highlights the growing concern that these types of encounters are becoming more frequent. President Trump's response moved quickly from the shooting itself to a proposal for the future. On social media, he thanked the agents before pivoting to the physical security of the building. He pointed to the suspect's history and possible obsession with the complex as a reason to rethink how the White House is built. Trump is using the event to advocate for a new White House ballroom, the most safe and secure space of its kind. While perimeter guards are necessary, they can be bypassed. A structural fortress is a permanent defense. The May 23rd shootout suggests a shift in the philosophy of presidential protection. It signals a move toward accepting that human systems will occasionally fail, and that the ultimate fallback is no longer a watch list, but a bunker.